Pete on the computer.
Oh, Pete, you're terrifying. Okay. Yes. Hi, Pete.
Hey, I've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure I'm clear on a couple of things. By putting money from the general, by putting money in the MVH from a property tax, does that mean that it is adding to the restricted amounts? And I hope I'm asking that question the right way. I know that we are adding, or we're helping to fill a gap that was generated by spending down or by creating a negative, but I guess my real question is this just a one-time thing, or are we creating a situation where we're gonna have to use money because we've added money?
No. So one is that the tax levy will go into MVH, and you are required, you're actually not allowed to have a fund in the negative. So this is just a way to correct that.
Okay.
So once we get that balance back up from negative to a positive, then remember 50% of, so in this case, we're talking about Fund 2201.
Yep.
50% of the monthly gas tax distribution that is received. So for round numbers, we're going to say next year you're going to get $50,000. It's a little bit more than what they were saying.
Yeah.
You probably will.
25,000 of that has to be restricted and can only be used to build roads, to do engineering and those kinds of things. But
Actually,
if we were to add money to that.
But no, so just remember, that 50%, the 25,000 can only be used to build roads. But the other 25,000 will go into the 2201 fund. And once the 2201 fund is in the positive, so let's say I believe, and I genuinely do, that it will be in the positive and have a positive balance, maybe not a huge one, maybe $5,000 to $6,000 at the end of next year.
Okay.
In 2027, you're still getting a monthly gas tax distribution. You're going to get another 25,000 that we can put in 2201, and another 25,000 that goes into 2203. MVH will then recover, and then you can start using it again for operating supplies for the street department.
Okay.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, you answered my question.
Excellent.
Second question, Lisa, is that only for when we send somebody to the Law Enforcement Academy, or can that be used anytime any marshal does any training? So if they go to a class on lie detection or
online classes, they can. In fact, I also have used it for bulletproof vests, for cameras, for outfitting an individual. So the difference between what I use, Lisi can be used to outfit an individual officer or to send them to school. You can use it to buy their gun, their vest. You can use it for individual equipment. Unlike public safety lit, which can be used but isn't generally thought of as outfitting an individual officer, it's usually more universal. It's usually payroll or equipment or supplies for the department at large. But yes, so Lisi can be used individually, and it can be used for a variety of training and equipment uses. The law is actually pretty broad on that one.
So taser training to any of that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good. All right, third and my last question, the CCI rate that we don't know what the ordinance says, if they would find that either here before the end of the year or into budget year 2026 and say they don't like what it is being used for, and they would basically, we'd have Mr. Murphy, who's sitting there looking dapper as ever.
Create a
Good to see you, Steve.
ordinance.
Good to see you, Pete.
They would write an ordinance to basically just cancel that ordinance. Would they be able to transfer those funds into the general fund, or what would they have to do with that?
So you could continue to, so chances are it's a capital improvement fund. So at minimum, you could probably use it for matching funds for road construction or sidewalk construction or something local capital. But you can also, there's some timing involved in this, for CUME funds, to reestablish them or to deestablish them, you have to accomplish that by a specific process that has to be,
Normally May 1st, right?
yeah, well, actually concluded by May 31st. Good one, how did you know that?
I've been a town manager once or twice before.
Okay, good deal, yes. So that goes in line with the CUME Cap D funds, which
Okay.
I do recommend because they don't pull away from the general fund as opposed to a CUME improvement fund that does. And I don't like any other CUME funds other than CUME Cap D, just my opinion.
Okay. Could we, so just thinking about that park project, that'd be a capital project, so maybe that's a possibility in the future, is we could shove those towards like a park project or a road. You mentioned a road project, so something like that could be matching funds for a future park project.
Yeah, and you guys have been building cash. I mean, if you look at the end of this year, I expect you to have 144,000 in your CUME Cap improvement fund. I actually think that you, if all of the lits come together, you might consider a CUME Cap D adoption. Maybe not next year, although I'd do it sooner than later, because that would be a specific rate. And if the designated purpose was to use it for investing in park and infrastructure, that would be something I think you guys should consider and talk about.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
And the maximum rate on those is 5 cents, and it does not
Right.
pull away from the general fund, which the CUME improvement rate does.
Does, correct. And now I'm asking, because I'm not looking at any of the paperwork, do we think this is the one that is set up for the fire department, or is this the one, or can we set one up for the fire department separately?
So if you do that, any CUME fire fund that you set up will pull away from the general fund.
Okay,
So, and those maximum rates are 3 cents, and again, they're rate-driven funds, so it's the rate times the assessed value, but the only CUME fund that does not pull away from your general fund is the CUME Cap Development Fund.
okay. And Janet, so as good as I like to be every once in a while, once a new assessed value for the town is established every year, doesn't it make sense that you have to go in like every few years and reestablish these? Because, am I making sense?
No, say it again, because I
Okay,
was following you and then I got lost.
Okay, so as I recall, it used to be that you had to go in and reestablish the CUME funds
Yes.
every few years because your assessed value might.
You're absolutely right. Remember, they scaled them, so if you adopted a CUME fund at a certain rate, you were gonna bring in, say, $10,000. If your assessed value went up, your rate dropped, so you never brought in any more money. So they call that trending, remember?
Right.
So no, 2 years ago, the legislature said, no, 3 years ago, they said that there was no longer trending. So the rate that your CUME improvement fund is sitting at is where it's going to sit until you either reestablish or deestablish. And actually, I wouldn't reestablish because it's pretty high.
Okay.
But it's also pretty high, and it takes away from the general fund, which is where you do the majority of your operating.
So we don't want to take away from the general fund. Right, gotcha.
The cum cap D fund, if I was doing it, I would do a establishment of cum cap D and a de-establishment of your cum cap I.
Right. It's a good move to do.
Yeah.
And that can be done first part of the next year.
Yes, I usually recommend that you start right after the annual financial report. I also recommend that you have your attorney do it because I hate doing them. And if he doesn't want to do it, I do have an attorney who does them for me, almost like a special service. So he's a professional. He does a lot of them for me around the state. So, and he's affordable. He's under $1,000 to do it. So, okay. Not that I'm going to pimp him out or anything.
Right, so, and then has all your questions on the budget been answered?
Yes, it has. It very much has. Thank you very much.
Very well.
As you can see, I have a lot of highlighted stuff here that I've been going through, but yes, all my questions are good to go.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I got one here on this economic development income tax credit. 2025 is 7350. Next year's 27.4. Increase and decrease to 20. Now listen, we had an audit. For 4 years, they give us 15,000, 24,000, 37,000. Now, this year, we gave them $3,000.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, so,
That's supposed to be income for us, isn't it?
well, this is spending. This is not income.
I know that, but I mean, we gave them money,
You gave who money, honey?
the J County Economic Development.
Oh, so you had an agreement with them, but your economic development agreements, those are voluntary. So you sign a contract with them. You could pay it from the edit. You could also pay it from general fund.
But the thing of it was, they was giving us, 4 years ago, they was giving us 20,000, 20,000, this and that. Now then, we're paying them $3,000.
They were giving you money?
They was giving us money, and the audit committee said they give us in 2020, and then there was 2021, 2022,
Yeah, we-
23. 37,000 they give us in 23.
Rick Economic Development loans
24,000,
account for
15,000 in
fence,
21.
sidewalks and things like that, right with that.
So we had to put a fence around the dump, they paid for that. We had to put sidewalk in somewhere, they paid for that. So it was money they lent us that we actually had to make payments back to them on.
Oh, okay.
And then the $3,000 is for JCDC to help us with any grants, like the community
Okay, so,
crossing grant and
But
stuff.
the audit committee says that's an income for us.
oh, it would have been an income.
That's what I said, but we given them money.
It's just a different situation
But
though.
here's the thing, though, they gave Dunkirk $250,000 last month.
Well,
2
there's,
months ago, we gave them $3,000.
I'm just telling you, the mayor of Dunkirk is just a better negotiator.
We didn't negotiate. The state says they're supposed to give us, that's an income for the receipts.
Well, you do get edit money. You're confusing the EDC with the income tax. You actually receive money from the state. I've got the reports here that say,
How much did we receive?
well, I haven't seen it this year, but I'll tell you, for 2025, for edit, the state, or you're receiving,
Now, is that the Economic Development Corporation?
it's not, I don't know about that. I don't have anything I'm telling you, your edit money, you're gonna get $31,831. That is the revenue.
Edit, now what is edit then?
Economic development income tax.
From who?
From payroll. It's payroll withholding, state, it's your state
That's what I
distribution.
said, the audit says we get the receipts.
Right, and you do, and you
4
have.
years we got them, but then the last 2 years we paid them.
No, you paid someone, but you still got receipts. Last year, you've been getting edit for years. You
Not
had
the last 2 years.
expenses.
We get edit, but we
Why would
turn
you?
that edit money in to the economic development of Redkey, and then they use that money to bring in investment.
Okay, and that is an expenditure, but so I just want to be clear. So that's an expenditure. So you have an agreement with them. So the state of Indiana sends you edit money. You get edit money every month. It's deposited into the edit fund, and then you adopt a budget that says, we will pay so much out of edit, and you did. You wrote checks to,
JCDC, and then Redkey Economic Development. We gave them the money, and then these guys use it for investments, and those, the JCDC people, then use it to help us with grants and things like that.
I got it. So you have an agreement with them, but you've been getting the money as revenue, and you've been getting it for years.
We got it 4 years ago, and in the last 2 years, since we've been on the board, we've been giving them $3,000. Now, we give Redkey Economic Development $15,000 for dues.
You have contracts with them, you have agreements, they signed agreements, you approve claims.
Well,
You guys are approving the claims and writing the checks.
let me say now, right now, Jay County Economic Development, Redkey Economic Development, is 1970, or 1990. It was $2,000 an acre, Redkey bought it.
Okay.
Okay, now the way the bylaws is, we're trying to get 24 and 25, but we can't get it from them. All right, the way the bylaws said, they're elected every 4 years, and that comes to the town board, and we gotta okay their election.
So that's a different
Yeah.
revenue source that I'm not familiar with?
You need to check it out, just check it out for us. If you
Okay.
get it, okay?
I'll do that. Is
Check
there
it out.
anything else? Thank you,
Jenny, do you
Jim.
have questions?
No.
Jimmy, any further questions?
That's all, I just, and one more.
Okay.
Indiana, Redkey, Indiana does not have internal controls, and the state law says we're supposed to have.
We do have internal
No,
controls.
we don't.
We do.
Well, what kind of internal controls do you think you don't have? Because I know you
We
do
don't know
have.
how much land we've got, we don't know how much money we've got out there, and we don't know how much money got coming from the Jay County Economic Development Corporation. They won't give us the tax numbers.
Okay, so that's with Jay County, but, so the internal control that you're concerned about is you don't, so have you had a capital asset inventory conducted yet?
We have the ordinance on it, we have not had all the capital it's not done yet. It was supposed to, we had planned on having it done by September, we don't. But when the State Board of Accounts came and audited, everything that they required us to have an internal control over, we have implemented.
Okay, who's doing your capital asset inventory?
I don't even have anyone coming to do that yet, so. I know that Pete, didn't you say that you could find someone to help Pete on the computer? Pete, on the computer, didn't you say that you could help us find someone to do those audits?
I can't.
Okay, well, could you please
Yeah.
start looking into that so that we can get that accomplished before the end of the year?
I have a couple of names of folks who've been doing that because that's a common write-up. We have.
We got wrote up for it.
We have a retired State Board of Accounts auditor who does that, and,
Will you send me that information?
sure, absolutely.
Can you help us out with that?
Just this week.
Pardon me?
Can you help us out?
Susan
Two
just
things.
gave
Oh,
me-
sure, absolutely.
That's what I need.
So, and then sir, do you have any questions for Janet?
I do not.
Gloria? Anybody out in the, do you have any questions? Ted, do you have any questions? No? Newspaper? No?
None?
Awesome. Janet? I think we're done. Are you ready to go? Okay, so we have no further questions. We all understand the budget. We know where we are and,
So, question for you,
okay.
Do we, hold it.
But,
Brenda, do we need to vote to introduce
no.
an ordinance tonight?
Janet said that we don't do that anymore.
Well, you can, you don't have to, but because, thank you, I'm so glad you brought this up. I brought you copies of your prepared ordinance, which you did not have. So,
I would vote to introduce, that way all we're doing on the 28th is doing a second reading.
So I need a
Agree,
motion.
Steve?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
I second it.
Wait a second. I need a motion to introduce the 2026 budget, and there's a motion on the table by Jenny to introduce the 2026 budget, and Byron has seconded that, and Jimmy's not here yet, so
Thank you.
we think he went to the bathroom, but,
Floyd.
Floyd, are you okay with adopting that, or introducing that budget? And Byron, yes, Jenny, yes, Brenda, yes, and I'll wait for Jenny to come out.
Would everybody look at the back and make sure I wrote your names right? And then
Hey, Jimmy, we have a motion on the table to go ahead and, introduce the budget. We're gonna do it anyway, and everybody's voted aye. How will you vote to just introduce? Okay, so everyone has voted aye on introduction of the budget.
So actually, I'm just gonna leave these copies with you, so next meeting, you have copies to get signed.
So, and this is our ordinance that we adopt and sign in the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, so meeting is adjourned.
With the batteries.
You're welcome.
So as far as